Welcome back to Klepper's Corner, Today in History, where we take one random date, open the historical junk drawer, and find out that humanity's been doing weird, heroic, and catastrophic things on a loop. Today's date, October 8th, a day so packed with conflict, fire, perfection, and political drama that it makes your group chat look tame. Segment 1, the crucible of conflict, bullets, battles, and bad decisions. Let's start in 1862, Kentucky, where Americans were at war with other Americans, and apparently the weather. The Battle of Perryville wasn't sparked by ideology or strategy, it was over water. That's right. Both sides marched into town like dehydrated frat boys fighting over the last case of Gatorade. Union General Don Carlos Buell, who was supposedly in charge, couldn't even hear the battle because of an acoustic shadow. So while thousands of men shot each other, he sat 2 miles away like, wow, it's quiet out there today. Confederates thought they'd won, but the Union said, actually, we've got 30,000 fresh guys just chilling behind that hill. Bragg's army retreated, and Kentucky stayed Union forever. Moral of the story? Don't invade a state expecting them to like you because you think they do. Ask Twitter. It's quicker. Now jump to 1912, when Montenegro said, you know what sounds fun? Starting the First Balkan War. Montenegro, a country roughly the size of an American shopping mall, decided to pick a fight with the Ottoman Empire. Soon, Serbia, Greece, and Bulgaria joined in like a Balkan boy band named Instability Direction. They won, briefly, but then they fought each other over the leftovers. That's right, victory lasted about as long as a TikTok trend. Fast forward to 1918, where one guy, Sergeant Alvin C. York, decided to turn World War I into an Appalachian hunting trip. York, a pacifist from Tennessee, went from, I don't believe in killing, to, I'll just capture 132 Germans before lunch. He used his turkey shooting aim to outsmart machine guns. Hollywood made him a legend, but the real flex? He refused the fame, went home, and built schools. Imagine turning down influencer money after saving the world. Finally, 1967, Bolivia. Che Guevara, the revolutionary icon, gets caught. His CIA-trained captors executed him the next day, trying to silence him forever. Instead, they made him the world's most famous t-shirt. Every college dorm owes its wall decor to one bad counterinsurgency decision. Segment 2, Catastrophe and Rebirth. The Great Chicago Fire, 1871. October 8th, 1871. Chicago's having a dry summer, made of wood and powered by wind. It's like someone built tinder out of lumber and dared it to swipe right on a spark. Legend blames Mrs. O'Leary's cow. Poor lady gets dragged for centuries because some reporter thought angry Irish cow torches city sounded catchy. But scientists later agreed. No evidence, just good branding. The real culprit? Terrible urban planning and weather so dry it could have ignited from a sneeze. The fire kills about 300 people and destroys 17,000 buildings. But here's the twist. On the same day, a fire in Peshtigo, Wisconsin, kills 10 times more people, and nobody remembers it. Why? Chicago had newspapers and railways. Peshtigo had trees and cows. History lesson. If you want to be remembered, make sure you've got decent PR. But from the ashes, Chicago rose again, literally, and invented the skyscraper. Out went wooden tenements, in came steel and ambition. It's the original we lost everything, but we rebranded. You could say the modern city skyline was born from a flaming barnyard rumor. Segment 3, the Arena of Triumph. Don Larson's Perfect Game, 1956. Not every October 8th was fire and blood. Sometimes it's just perfect. Game 5 of the 1956 World Series, the Yankees versus the Dodgers. Don Larson, an average pitcher, throws the only perfect game in World Series history. 27 batters up, 27 down, not one base runner. When the final strike hit Yogi Berra's mitt, the man launched himself into Larson's arms like a joyful cannonball. That photo became American myth. Joy, triumph, and a reminder that sometimes the impossible just happens. In the anxious Cold War 1950s, this was more than baseball. It was America saying, look, we can still do things flawlessly. Meanwhile, nuclear drills had kids hiding under desks, and Don Larson's out there throwing 97 perfect pitches. Balance, people. And the best part? He wasn't a superstar. He was a guy who got yanked in Game 2 for stinking. Then he came back and made history. It's like your coworker who spilled coffee on the boss Monday but landed the promotion Friday. Segment 4, the machinery of governance, how states break, bend, and rebuild. October 8th isn't just for fires and fastballs. It's also when governments remind us they're capable of everything from oppression to redemption. Take 1982, Poland. The communist regime officially banned Solidarity, the independent trade union that had been peacefully demanding workers' rights. They thought outlawing it would crush dissent. Instead, it made Solidarity a legend. You know you've messed up when your ban list becomes a Spotify playlist of revolution. Then 1993, the UN lifted sanctions on South Africa, acknowledging the end of apartheid. The whole world collectively said, okay, we believe you this time. Nelson Mandela's election was on the horizon, and South Africa finally rejoined the global community. Proof that sometimes international pressure does work, especially when tied to economic FOMO. Next, 1998. The U.S. House launched its impeachment inquiry into Bill Clinton. America collectively asked, wait, we can fire presidents for this? The answer, sort of. The scandal gave late-night hosts job security for decades. It also showed the Constitution's checks and balances still had a pulse, even if they were being used for the weirdest soap opera in D.C. history. Finally, 2001. Just weeks after 9/11, President George W. Bush created the Office of Homeland Security. America reorganized itself overnight. Within a year, it became the Department of Homeland Security, a bureaucratic megazord combining 22 agencies. The message was clear. If terrorists could coordinate, by God, so could we. With 3 forms, 2 IDs, and a line out the door. These 4 moments, Poland, South Africa, Clinton, Homeland Security, show the spectrum of power: suppression, redemption, accountability, and paranoia. In short, government is like your ex. It can ruin your life, apologize, fix itself, or move in with 21 roommates. Segment 5, lives marked by October 8th. Births, deaths, and everything in between. Let's talk people, because October 8th gave us quite the lineup. Jesse Jackson, born 1941, civil rights icon, 2-time presidential candidate, and the only man who could make "Keep Hope Alive" sound like both a sermon and a campaign slogan. Sigourney Weaver, born 1949, who single-handedly convinced the world that women could fight xenomorphs and corporate greed at the same time. Without her, the final girl would still be hiding behind a couch. Matt Damon, born 1970, proof that writing your own screenplay is cheaper than paying rent in LA. He went from Good Will Hunting to saving humanity in like 5 different movies. NASA owes that man a fruit basket. And Bruno Mars, born 1985, the reincarnation of every Motown backup singer rolled into one tiny sequined hurricane. The man's music sounds like Prince, Elvis, and James Brown arguing over who gets to headline the after party. But as always, with life comes death. Franklin Pierce, our 14th president, died this day in 1869, proving that being indecisive in politics can literally kill your legacy. His Kansas-Nebraska Act basically lit the fuse for the Civil War. Pierce tried to please everyone and pleased no one. A reminder that moderation's great for cocktails, terrible for history. And in 1967, Britain lost Clement Attlee, the quiet reformer who built the welfare state and the NHS. He did more with understatement than most politicians do with hashtags. Attlee's post-war Britain proved socialism could wear a suit, sip tea, and still get stuff done. It's poetic, really. October 8th saw one leader fail to hold a divided country together and another succeed in building one back up. Add in Jesse Jackson's activism and Bruno Mars' groove, and you've basically got the entire emotional arc of human civilization. Segment 6, conclusion, the pattern in the chaos. So what does October 8th teach us? That history isn't random, it's a remix. Every tragedy sparks innovation. Every overreach births rebellion. Every perfect pitch in the middle of chaos reminds us that humanity occasionally nails it. One day gives us drought-fueled war, a fire that birthed the skyline, a revolution that died but lived on in t-shirts, and a baseball game that briefly made America feel flawless. It's proof that history's not a timeline, it's a kaleidoscope. Turn it and the same colors rearrange into something new. So the next time you check your calendar and think it's just another Tuesday, remember, somewhere, sometime, it was the day someone set the world on fire, saved it, rebuilt it, or pitched a perfect game. This has been Klepper's Corner, Today in History, October 8th. And remember, if history teaches us anything, it's this: perfection is rare, revolutions are messy, and cows make terrible scapegoats.